We play Supreme Commander 2 under a set of rules we call NG rules. Now, we would very much like if we could get more people to play under these rules with us so we can get bigger games going. To accomplish this, we have set up a Steam group called SupCom2 NG Rules. The link will be provided in the description below. This group is of course public, because we would want as many people to join as possible, and there is no obligation to actually play with us. If you want to join or know about our games and videos, or just have a chat, please do. If the group turns out to be popular enough and there's enough demand, we might even consider getting some tournaments going and other events. And on to the game of the day. Hello, this is the Jack of Strategy Games commentary, bringing you another game of Supreme Commander 2. This time it's a 2v2 on Fields of Isis, the brilliant classic map from the first Supreme Commander. The teams are as follows. We've got Dirty Lobster, who's Cybran, and myself, who's also Cybran, and we are going to be up against Ruffleking, who's Aeon, and his teammate is Dark Assassin, who's also Aeon. So in this game we've got a faction war of Cybran versus Aeon. Now, unfortunate for us is mostly that leaves us at quite a disadvantage on land due to the range of the Aeon tanks and their sniper bots. We can counter this with adapter shields, but they'll just keep kiting us to death right up until they get teleporters. Our solution to this is to maximise the use of the middle. That is, you've got this narrow pass at the top and south in the middle of the map, which, if used properly, it can minimise the advantages the Aeon get on range. By camping the north and south edges of the pass, you can get the jump on any tanks that try to sneak through, and at the very least you can stop them kiting you. You still do, however, have to watch out for attack missiles, and as always, that is the first step in this map, in that you charge the middle as we're pinging right here, ready to get a factory going. Now, our idea was we build our factories here first before the mass points, so when the enemy, as we're fully aware, are going to do the same tactic, as you can already see they're queuing up. Our idea is, rather than building the mass point first like what Dark Assassin's doing, we're going to build our factories first so they become the prime target of any enemy attack missile launchers that they happen to build in their factories. Because that's what everyone does in this map. It's always attack missile fight between factories on this middle ridge. You can see Lobster slowly working his way forward, skipping all mass points just to try and get there first. So much so that he's actually left one of his energy generators unfinished. It's a while before he notices this, but I do send my engineer up to try and finish it, just because I'm a nice person. Right now it's going to be a 2v1 for Dark, as we're going to get more factories up than he can in the middle. Two comms build a lot faster after all. Off I go, but I'm more focused on the mass point in the rear first. Does help. You can see I also started off by building a factory just like Ruffleking, but somehow I managed to outpace Ruffleking right into the middle, which will benefit us. Now, my tactic here was I told Lobster to get adapters straight away because air could screw us over if we weren't prepared for it early enough. So with Lobster going adapters, I decided that I would save up my research and take what I need at the time. And it worked well for me, at least. This game anyway. Who knows, it may have just been a lot of luck either way. You can see that everyone in this game is going all land, so there's no planes to be seen at all this game. Seems I'm still pushing out faster than Dark. He did get his factory up and mass point up before me though. You can see here there's a building now, but thanks to its placement, it should become the prime target for attack missile launcher from Dark. There it goes, going straight for my factory. Because Dark built his mass point first, you can see Lobster's factory attack missiles are already targeting the mass point. And the shield isn't going to help much because due to the size of the Aeon mass point, you can see that it's actually extruding out from the shield. Meaning if factories down here will get a good angle on it to hit the mass point square in the face. Gotta love that. They were quite angry after the game because of that, but, well, Lucky me, I guess. They did seem to think it was a bit unfair that our mass extractors could sit under our shields just fine while theirs could not. But then again, if he put it at the side like we did, it probably would have covered it just fine anyway, in my opinion. Or at the very least made the factory the target instead. But hopefully they'll learn from their mistakes. You can already see I've got a shield on the factory that was targeted. Lobster took the 2 mass points. And I'm getting my second factory up and even building a third. As you can see, we already outgunned them with TAC missiles here from our factories alone. In fact, to Lobster going straight for adapters, their factory missile spam will be useless to begin with. There's the first adapter. Which got no TAC missiles killed at all. That is the worst adapter in the world. You can see Ruffleking's even trying to get mobile missile launchers in there as well, but they really don't have the range to get over that ridge. So he's trying to be offensive with them, and he's already moving them out down south, leaving the top side completely undefended. Lobster could maybe take advantage of this at some point, especially if it remains so. And here's me being nice and finishing off that energy generator from Lobster. As it stands, Ruffleking is out factory spamming us for the moment, building his 5th factory now. But Lobster's crippled because of having to build adapters as well, and I'm kind of saving up mass, because at this point I think I decided Megaliths would be a good idea to combat the range advantage that Aeon get. Because Megaliths will turn that range advantage into your own advantage, and there'd be nothing they can do about it, except to try the best tactic of sitting at this pass and hoping for the best. Luckily my Brackman can shoot over the ridge quite well and should push him back far enough to get my Megalith through. I do build one, I can assure you. You can see there, both mass points are dead. There's nothing Dark can do to keep them alive other than investing in slip tax. But as you can see, he's already spent his research on Harvogs. Most likely he's also going for Urchinows. It's really a stale fight between the factories at this point. Thanks to the 2 mass points being dead, our TAC missiles are now spread across more structures and makes it even more difficult. Oh, good few strikes there with Brackman, almost killing quite a few tanks there. Something did die, looks like a tank of some description. And there goes Dark's 5th factory, while me and Lobster are both still on 4. And actually Lobster's not managing to build a 5th factory as well, it's just me crippled on 4. Here comes a nice spread of Brackman shells hitting the cliffside. And the south cliffside, because hey, why not? Because we're putting equal sized craters on both sides of the hill. It's just a matter of keeping them distracted with my Brackman while I get the research I need. Hopefully if I'm lucky I'll get a good strike on these Harvogs. I try a bit of force fire as well as allowing them to target what they will. Doesn't always work. He's going for a charge. All I have to do is retreat and it's fine. So far so good. A lot of the Harvogs did get injured there. And our good strike can kill them quite easily. Although he is building a factory shield on that factory, so he's determined to go defensive. And he's also building point defense. Point defense do outrange the Brackman, but you can't push forward with them all that well. Oh, and there's 2 Harvogs dead. What a nice strike. And also a strike on the column. I can live with that. Oh, here's a good strike here, and over half the Harvogs dead. What a mighty strike. With that must be me having enough research to push on to Megaliths. I'm already moving my common into position to build them. And I may have missed it, but up here was completely undefended at the time as Ruffle and Dark were focusing at the bottom, and Lobster took the opportunity to kill 1 mass point. And an engineer. but it cost him a lot more bots in the long run, so it probably wasn't worth it. Dark here losing Harvogs to the attack missile launchers from my factories, so they're still doing the damage needed. So many bot kills. Gotta love that. I've also got a lot of them, a lot of Brackman even. -1. It's like Ruffleking's going to push off forward and nobody's retreating for some obscure reason. I'm not sure why. He's also got his rally points from his factories in odd positions. He should push him as forward as possible. I mean, right now, Ruffleking could probably mess us up if he moved his army forward. He'd outrange Lobster and there'd be nothing he could do about it. He'd slowly get pushed back, which would allow him to destroy his factories before he'd even done anything, which is unfortunate. It's a shame Ruffleking isn't being too aggressive here. It seems they're more concerned with my army of Brackmen, which, to be honest, could be easily dealt with as long as they charged from the top, where my Brackmen aren't covering. Looks like Lobster's going to take the attempt to attack, as well as myself. Looks like we're both going to try and push out both sides at once. Try and split up Ruffle's army some more. Oh god, I forgot to speed up, oh well. No wonder it's been oddly slow. There we go, that should be better, more watchable. You can already see I've got two factories here going. My comm assisting one factory, Lobster's comm assisting the other. Comms are more efficient than engineers. And as I suspected, Ruffleking's just kiting the loyalists here. There's just nothing Lobster can do about this because he's just been kited to death. Now if Ruffleking had done this on the attack, he'd be inflicting a lot more damage. But right now, that moment has finally passed because it's far too late to actually attack us. With our megaliths up, we become an unstoppable pushing force. Not even point defense can stop them. Dark has queued up his experimental gantry, but it's already too late. My first megalith goes south, my second megalith goes north, covering both passes, resulting in an unbeatable combo. Right now I just need to get rid of that point defense covering that factory and then my Brackman can move in. Factory doesn't last long and soon the point defense is getting eaten. And then for the next one, dead. Time to just charge in, I guess. Ruffleking's trying to push through the tops there after seeing my megalith. Shame he doesn't realise there's a megalith up there as well, but soon he will. He's being very cautious here, making use of his mobile missile launchers, but instantly he sees the megalith and he's pushing back. At the same time I'm pushing in through the south, going for the factories here. My demolishers are doing a lot here. Here comes Dark's Harvog rush, and they just rush into their own death. Some more death. Ooh, that has to hurt. Two factories down, two PD down. Time to push onto his army. I've also got two megaliths south now. The tanks do nothing. The Harvogs are coming back, and so is the comm. Looks like the comm's going to get rid of my Brackman. I don't exactly need them anymore anyway. There's the comm bomb. Next comes the Harvogs. All the while Lobster's pushing in from the top, going straight for the factories and mass points. Completely bypassing Ruffleking, who's only catching the back end of the army, and there's nothing he can do to catch up. All the while my now free megaliths completely decimated the Harvogs, and Lobster splits up his army, power detonates some of the tanks, and just keeps on running through with the other half. Dark is chasing control Ks out, and that is pretty much game over. Ruffleking trying to flee with his comm, but it's already too late. I've got now 4 megaliths at the bottom, 1 at the top, and there's just nothing Ruffleking can do. He can teleport towards them, but it's not going to help. Especially when he teleports into the middle of them all. And it's like Lobster's going to go for the comm snipe here, there's nothing Ruffleking can do about it. And we're going to see a control key in a moment, and there it is. How wonderful! Well, to be honest, it went quite well for us, considering our initial disadvantage of range. But luckily, going for Megaliths really did change the tide of that. It changed the tide of being completely defensive to being completely offensive. Luckily, there was nothing Dark or Rufflekin could do about it. So, I'm happy with the way it went. If you enjoyed it, you can check out my channel and you can always subscribe, so yeah.